Hi, you alright? Here's every Phoebe Bridgers song, ranked worst to best. There's a little bit of cinematic trickery going on in this video because I've already filmed the ranking. I filmed it last night. I filmed it just as the sun was setting, so the start of it, the lighting's not great, but it's okay. But by the end, it's pretty terrible. But I filmed the ranking before I filmed the intro and outro, so most of the ranking's fine. It's just the intro and outro. You couldn't see anything, which I do like in a way for the emo vibes, but I thought I'd come in after, re-record the intro and outro, just for you, my loyal viewers. I am a big fan of Phoebe Bridgers. I became a fan probably the traditional way that a lot of people did, via her big hit, Friday I'm in Love, Spotify Sessions covers. And after that, I checked out Motion Sickness. Definitely a top 5 Phoebe Bridgers song. Or is it? Ooh, I guess you'll have to watch and find out. But after that, I got into all the other songs on Stranger in the Alps, and by the time I was done with that, Garden Song came out and the Punisher era began. So if I'm not the most important person in the world, why do I just keep on winning? I did go off her for a little bit a couple years ago, just because she was in a bit of a Marvel era where every week there'd just be a new song featuring her. Not that some of those songs weren't absolute bangers, like Silk Chiffon. If a song like that came out every week, I'd be living my best life, truly. And this list is just her solo efforts. No collabs, no boygenius, which is a shame because me and my dog would definitely be number 1 in this list. And Dylan Thomas would probably be number 5. And Emily I'm Sorry would be in the bottom 3 because I don't like that song. Emily I'm Sorry fans, I'm sorry. There is a logic to the songs I have and haven't included, but I won't bore you with admin this early in the video, so you'll just have to figure it out for yourself. But I will tell you up front, I haven't included any of the Christmas songs because bar humbug. And this was a tough list to make. To paraphrase Sean Locke, it was a challenging rank because I like nearly all of her songs. There's only really one that I truly actively dislike. And here it is. Prepare for the lighting change. It's a bit dramatic. 28, Sidelines. I just hate when people use the word hubby. It just makes me want to gargle with shades of glass. And that's the same feeling I get listening to this song. This is the only Phoebe Bridgers song that I actively dislike, maybe even hate. Somewhere in between. Quite dull, quite boring. It's just like my personality, it's just nothingy. And the line about talking to my houseplants, it's just so like live, laugh, love. OMG, I'm so random. I'm just talking to my aloe vera. It reminds me of that thing, that boomer meme you see on Facebook where it's like, always be yourself, unless you can be Batman, then be Batman. Grim. This is that in song form. There's definitely a Facebook post out there with the houseplants line with a load of minions on it. This is her most recent single, I think. And if this is the direction she goes down for her next album, that's fine. Hope that this song is practice, so save the bangers for the album. 27, Halloween. This song reminds me of Climbing Up the Walls by Radiohead, both in the way it sounds and also in the way that it's the only song that I skip on an album that I otherwise love every song of. And it's not that I don't like it. It is a little bit that I don't like it, but I don't dislike it. The lyrics are good, and there's a nice little Conor Oberst cameo at the end, but I just think the song's a bit boring. The most used phrase from my other videos, apart from "Ooh, Alex Turner, please cover me in chocolate and lick it off my body," and "Ooh, Morrissey, just shut up, shut up, shut up, stop talking," would be "This is what blank sounds like to people who don't like blank." And I think this song is what Phoebe Bridgers sounds like to people who don't like blank. 26, The Gold, Phoebe Bridgers version. This song's nice when it's on, but I'd never put it on unless I'm forced to, which is exactly the same way I feel about Underwear. This song's fine, but I have no idea how it's so popular. It's like literally her 4th most streamed song on Spotify. As with all things I don't understand, I'm assuming it's something to do with TikTok, so no cap, straight busing on God. I feel like I was born too late for Vine, born too early for TikTok, but born just in time for YouTube, am I right? Wee. 25, Demi Moore. I wouldn't want to be a stoned Demi Moore either. Not that I know who Demi Moore is. I think she's related to Kiefer Moore. I don't know who he is, I just have that name in my mind. I think that's the guy from 24. I like the little oohs at the start of this song, but I need more of them. Like, just a whole song of that would be great. Sort it out, Demi, please. What would Kiefer say? 24, That Funny Feeling. A cover of a Bo Burnham song, which was pretty much a cover of a Father John Misty song, which was pretty much a cover of We Didn't Start the Fire. So, good job, Billy Joel. You've done it again. 23, You Missed My Heart. It's a cover on Stranger in the Alps, and it's a sweet sounding song with lyrics about murder, so it fits perfectly. And it is a good song, but I do have a big problem with it. And my problem is this. Why was this the album closer? Why was it not Scott Street? That's the perfect album closer right there. Nothing against this song, like yo, 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 You Missed My Heart, I'ma let you finish. But Scott Street would have been one of the best songs of all time to be closed an album. Maybe not of all time, but like top 5 of whatever year Stranger in the Alps came out, like 2017 or something. Let's move on from that song about murder to another song about murder, and that's Chelsea. The verses are great, it sounds amazing, top quality vocal performance, but the chorus is missing something, and it's one word. Two words, one word. It's boygenius. This song is crying out for those harmonies in the chorus. 21, Would You Rather. Nice little duet with Conor Oberst there. Some pre-Better Oblivion Community Centre. Their voices couldn't be more different really, but they do go together quite well. His voice is like sandpaper, some grizzled old man who spends his time drinking whiskey at a bar. And Phoebe's is like Egyptian cotton bed sheets. 500 thread count. If that's a lot, I don't know what number's a lot. Now I've put 3 songs in joint 18th. Goodbye to Love, It'll All Work Out, and Georgia Lee, because they're all pretty decent covers, and I don't have much to say about them, except that one of them was in the Minions movie, which is a fact that we just all have to accept into our lives and somehow move on. 17, Nothing Else Matters. If this had the guitar solo from the original, this would be a top 10 song for me. Even without it, I still prefer it to the original. Sorry, Lars. And it still hits as hard as the Metallica version, even though it's mostly just piano throughout. It sounds like, you know, there's that phase of where every film, the trailer would be like some modern pop star doing a dark and moody cover of some upbeat 80s pop song. This sounds like that. You know, there's that Lorde cover of Everybody Wants to Rule the World. This is they're cousins. You're welcome for my musical insights there. 16, Punisher. I like how the song stops when she says stop. That's a good touch. She's good at doing stuff like that. She's probably the best in the biz for that. Yeah, it's quite nice for a song about being obsessed with celebrities, Elliott Smith in particular. If you exclude me talking to myself in the mirror, I've never actually spoken to a celebrity. I've walked past quite a few, but never anyone that's had the impact on me that Elliott Smith clearly had on Phoebe. But if I ever saw Alex Turner in the queue at Greg's, I'd probably just start crying. Partly from being overcome with emotion, and partly from seeing that he's actually 5'8" in real life. And I've always maintained that you should only idolise people who are taller than you. So if I ever meet him, it's game over. 15, Waiting Room. Oh, little baby Phoebe. The first verse, I was like, okay, this is just a nice song about fancying someone. That's nice. And then the second verse, she mentions dead bodies washing up on beaches, shooting yourself in the head. So all the stuff you expect from her was there from day one. It's the only song in this list that I wasn't familiar with. It's an unexpected banger. It's quite raw, it's got distorted guitars and quite heavy drums. It's basically Night Shift by Lucy Dacus. So if you like that song, listen to this song. 14, Moon Song. At the start, this song reminds me of Halloween, except the lyrics are a lot more interesting. And if the song carried on at that level, I'd still like it. But by the end, it just takes off. Like, seriously. When she said you're holding me like water in your hand, I was like, wow. Yeah, that's what I was like, wow. I've never really understood the saying, I'd give you the moon. Like, what can you do with that? I've got you a present. You can't wear it. You can't touch it. You can't eat it. You can't drink it. You can't spray it. You can't drive it. You can't wear it like a hat. You can't put your finger in it. You can't shove it up your ass. What is the point? You can only see it at night on a clear day for about 20 days a month. Save your effort. If you're gonna get me a celestial body, get me Uranus, because I could stare at that all day, babe. Oh yeah, and Eric Clapton could piss off. 13, Chinese satellite. I just like to take this time to remind everyone that we're alone in the universe, life has no meaning, and we're all going to die. But at least we're alive in the same time that Chinese Satellite by Phoebe Bridgers came out, because this way we get to experience the line, "I will never be your vegetable," which is a perfect line both in and out of context. Sometimes I think I might be an alien, but not just because of the probing. 12, killer. There's no killer in me, but in the words of the killer that I do want in me, are we human or are we dancer? That's just a nice little intro to what is probably her most brutal song, especially that second verse. Like, bloody hell, man. It's like The Only Thing by Sufjan Stevens. Just every line I'm like, oh, that's so depressing, God. But I love it. And in case it ever happens to me, please pull the plug. Even if there's not that much wrong with me, just pull the plug. If I've got a cold, take me out back and shoot me. I'd rather die than have the sniffles. 11, I See You, I See You. I don't know which one it's meant to be. I remember when it came out as a single, it was I See You on Spotify. But on my Punisher vinyl, it's I See You, like, I see you. Like that. And it's actually an upbeat song. I actually feel happy after listening to it, which is weird for a Phoebe Bridgers song. It's like when your doctor is an Indian. It's like, no, get me Dr. Patel. Get me Dr. Patel, or I'll treat these pubic lice myself. And it's got some great lines slagging off mother-in-laws. Mothers-in-law, am I right? Why won't they just die? And now we've made it to the top 10. And in number 10 is Georgia, a fine old addition to her discography. Am I right? It starts with 3.5 minutes of softness, which is also the title of my sex tape. Thank you. And then it just goes crazy at the end with a massive climax, unlike my sex tape. 9, Smoke Signals. First of all, that guitar tone is amazing. I don't know what it is, but I like it. That really has been on my mind since Bowie died. I have no idea what the lyrics of this song are about. There's a line in there about your eye being half closed, so I'm thinking it's either about her drummer or it's about Tom York. And I know who I'm choosing to believe it's about. Plus, nice little shout out to How Soon Is Now, which was like my 6th favourite Smith song or something. But it's a nice little opportunity for me to plug that video. 8, Saviour Complex. This sounds like something that would be in the soundtrack of a film, either at the start, where there's a montage showing how depressing the main character's life is, or at the end, when the main character's met the love of their life, but then they have to move to Australia or something. But just a nice, dreamy song. Those strings are my saviour. Actually reminds me a bit, you know those slowed and reverb remixes of songs? If there was one for motion sickness, I think it would sound a lot like this. They both have lyrics about car windows. One about rolling them down, and one about keeping them up. So that proves I'm right. 7, Garden Song, a pandemic throwback. It came out in late February 2020, just as things had started to kick off a little bit, but well before I went through my bread baking era. When this came out, I was still seeing COVID stuff on the news. It was all happening in like Italy. I thought, oh, it'll never come here. We've got Boris Johnson looking after us. He'll sort us. And what a great job he did. 6, Motion Sickness. It's her most popular song for a reason. It's a banger and it's earned every stream that it's got. That line, "You were in a band when I was born," is just brutal. There's no coming back from that. Go cover another Oasis song or something. Also, $1,500 to see a hypnotherapist, that seems like a lot. If that's what they're charging, we're all in the wrong industry. We need to get in that. I can only assume it's some foreign hypnotherapist who only takes their native currency. So it's like 1,500 Zimbabwe dollars. So that's like £1.50. But whatever today's exchange rate is, this song's $1 million. Or £1 million British pounds, whatever's higher. 5, Kyoto. Another pandemic throwback. Early days of lockdown this was playing when I was making my bread. I only made 3 loaves, and each was more inedible than the last. Unlike this song, which she ate on. I'm a bit out of the loop when it comes to terms like that, so I don't really know what that means, but I've definitely heard it used. People say like, oh yeah, she ate on that one, she ate on this one. So I think I'm using it in the right context. But what I mean is, the song's a banger. My bread was a clanger. 4, Scott Street. She says drums, and the drums start playing. What more do you need from a song? Or maybe it should have started a cappella. She says walking Scott Street, feeling like a guitar, and then the guitar starts playing. That would take this to another level actually. Maybe that would make for a better song. Maybe it wouldn't, who's to say? I can't say. But you know what I can say? Anachronistic. That's today's word of the day. Well done if you guessed it. And you know what else I can say? There are a lot of songs out there that deal with the same subject matter as this, but none do it as well. All those memories that come flooding back, and then you're just like, oh yeah, don't be a stranger. And then it's forgotten about for another 10 years until you see him again. Not that I know what that's like. There's only one person in my life that's that important to me, and we're yet to become romantically involved. But maybe by the time my next video comes out, I'll be Mrs. Alex Turner. Dreams can come true. 3, Graceland 2. In the words of Barack Obama, yes we ban. Joe. A nice little Boy Genius collab that reminds me of the Michigan era of Sufjan Stevens. It's pure Widows in Paradise, this one. The harmonies in the outro belong in the Indie Folk Hall of Fame, which I don't know if that's a thing, but if it's not, I'll start it now. And I'll say, Phoebe, Lucy, Julian, welcome to the hall. This is the moment that they live through to get to. 2, Funeral. If you haven't heard the Better Oblivion Community Centre version of Funeral, you need to get on that ASAP because that is quality. Probably on par with the original, which is a nice little depressing song about being depressed and death, and being depressed about death, having nightmares, all the good stuff you want from a Phoebe Bridgers song. And it really is a song for all moods too. If I'm sad, I'll listen to it and I'll be like, at least I'm not this sad, and then I'll cheer up a bit. And if I'm happy, I'll listen to it and I'll think of this meme and I'll become even happier. It's just a bit of fun. And you can't spell funeral without DVD menu. I mean, I know the end. What else would it be? As great as this song is, which is very great, it does make me worry about her future because she's pretty much locked into closing every concert she ever does with this. If she tries to close with anything else, there'll be a riot. Started by me. And even if she does close the show with this, there'll still be riots. Just because the way it sounds at the end just gets you pumped up to riot. Because it sounds like the end of the world. And when the apocalypse does come, in about 4 years probably, we can all meet up, listen to this song, and just watch society collapse around a campfire. We can all go crazy. When I do my laundry, I'll put my whites in with my darks. I'm going mad. I'll ignore the label that says dry clean only. Forget it, it's the end of the world. And obviously, you've got the screaming, which is, oh yeah. When she gets screamy, I get creamy. Sorry for that image, but it is the truth. And if you can't handle the truth, watch another video. So that's Phoebe Bridgers, great artist. Welcome back to the daylight. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, I've done a similar one on Arctic Monkeys. That was pretty good. Done a similar one on the Smiths. It's not as good, but still pretty good. Did one on Muse, but that was a bit of a practice one, so it's not great, that one. I did one on the book, Project Hail Mary, but that was just because I couldn't find a negative review of it anywhere, and I needed to know that someone else in the world hated that book as much as I did. Next video, I'm not sure who it'll be on. I'm thinking maybe Frank Ocean at the moment, just because it's another one with a short discography and there's no chance of a new album coming out anytime soon. But I'm also thinking for 1975, just so I can slag off Matty Healy even more than I slagged off Morrissey. So yeah, either way, look forward to that. Cheers.